one thing I like about the situation here in 2020 is that I've learned to treasure every little social interaction I can get. We used to take it for granted that we could see anybody anytime we wanted to. Even at 3 o'clock in the morning, you could always go to the grocery store and just chit-chat, and I kind of took that for granted. And I always took for granted that if I mess up, there was always a new group of friends or even a new city that I could go to mess up even more. And 2020 has really put all of that into the ground, that we can't do any of that. And you may have noticed that I've been dressing a whole lot better. My bedroom is a whole lot neater, and even my car is a whole lot neater because I've had to conduct Zoom conferences here in my car as well while I was out stargazing. And so I've learned that a lot of times when I go to the Computer Olympiad, which is currently in session actually, virtually now, a lot of times I compete in multiple games, right? My goal this year was to compete in 19 games in dedication to everybody who's working so hard on solving the COVID-19 crisis. I ended up competing in 22 games. But I learned that some people compete in 1 or 2 games and they fare a lot better than I do in terms of how far they get with their computer games. And the big difference is that they pay attention to the soft skills. I gotta pay attention to that going forward. I used to naively believe I'll take care of that later. The problem is there is no later, right? I put a lot of energy into writing the computer games. What I'm not getting out of it today is only going to be a big drag on it, right? And so I've learned to dress a whole lot better. You may have noticed that the condition of my clothing is a heck of a lot better. I get nervous now when well, it's also helped me control my eating cravings because I don't want to get my clothes dirty. And unfortunately, sometimes it almost feels like I'm anorexic now because I don't want to get dirty. I don't want to make a mess in my car, and I don't worry about weight as much as some of the other social aspects of eating. I don't want to smell. I don't want to have to go poop, especially when I come out here to stargaze, right? I'm living in Wallace. Missoula, where I am right now, is about a 2-hour drive away. The last thing I want to do is spend most of the trip worrying about bathrooms, right? I can urinate in my car. I have a container to urinate into, and then during the day I'll fertilize something with that urine when I'm out on the trails. That doesn't bother me so much, but when I need to poop, it's a huge drag on what I'm trying to do, right? The stargazing, and when I have to handle a Zoom meeting on my computer, it's just a drag, right? If I'm out and about, it kind of limits my mobility. And also apparently poop can potentially spread COVID-19, right? Urine might not, but so definitely don't want to be pooping out on the somewhere public, right? Especially nighttime. And so I've almost become anorexic because I don't want all these limiting factors that food brings me. Sometimes I forget to eat so much that I end up getting sick. I was living with a couple of roommates a few weeks ago when I got deathly ill from not eating, and none of my roommates wanted to come close to me. And it was really nice to have the bathroom and the shower to myself, and having everybody think I had COVID-19. That was kind of nice. Obviously, it can also get in the way sometimes. It's really a no-win situation when I travel. I really hate the fact that food limits my mobility, but at the same time, I have to acknowledge that we do have to eat. And anyways, one of my goals in 2021 is to make sure I get the most out of my technical skills by making sure that my soft skills don't fall too far behind while I'm pursuing all these goals, right?